So welcome back to the Tech Summit podcast, and this is Francisco over here with Christopher. We are doing a remote episode, only I have a webcam at the moment. However, we have some great news over here. This episode is directly sponsored by the folks over at podcastle.ai. They actually support a full-fledged podcasting service that is web-based entirely, and you can record an entire podcast using them. It's only audio at the moment. However, like, you can record individual tracks, so if you have another person's audio that you want to put in and you want to be able to edit that on your own separately, then you can 100% do that. You don't have to, hope that you're not interrupting each other and then grab that person's audio to make changes to it. Podcastle saves you that trouble. You can straight up record an entire full episode and upload it to just about anywhere that you want. It does give you a lot of options for working around it. There is going to be video integration at some point soon, and in fact, it said that they're going to be probably supporting 4K as well, which is going to be very useful for us, for example. But even then, 1080p would be just fine. So yeah, I'm very excited for that feature to come. And if you guys want to try out Podcastle, by all means, there's going to be a link down below. Please go ahead and give that a try. You can try it out for free. And it's not just a free trial, you straight up get to use it for free if you want to. So yeah, links to that down below. And thanks again to the folks over at Podcastle for sponsoring this episode.
The Game Awards has just passed. As of recording, it was just yesterday. Some people, including a friend of mine, would say that it was kind of underwhelming in certain reveals, but at the same time, there's still quite a bit of surprises and things I feel are worth talking about. I saw the Game Awards. Francisco here has not.
Nope.
So Francisco's reactions here are all going to be very genuine, on the cuff.
Unless anything has already been spoiled, which I feel like a lot kind of has, but I don't think that you would reveal that much information unless there was just way more waiting.
So, yeah, we did a little bit of talking beforehand. Things like how Nintendo didn't really have any presence there. You actually saw the news about Final Fantasy Remake on PC before we actually had a chance to talk about it. There's, of course, some controversy going on. A lot of people are upset that it's an Epic Games exclusive. With people straight up saying that they're going to pirate it, which Sex on My Podcast does not condone piracy of any kind. And people are also upset that the game is $70, which, as it turns out, is not just because it's integrated and it comes with the Yuffie episode. Square has announced that all of their upcoming titles going forward will be $70 on PC.
And you also get the DLC content, which is actually pretty substantial. So they're kind of really only charging you an additional $10 versus something that they would have charged $30 for if it had just been for the $60 game.
Yeah, you could totally look at it like that you're basically paying for the remake and then like the $10 upgrade from PS4 to PS5. Extremely bad timing, especially over the last couple of years, what's been going on, to like suddenly charge extra for hobbies that sort of help people escape.
Like $60 is still a lot of money to pay for a lot of people, and they might only be able to do that once a year.
So I'm very happy that we're finally getting it, even if there's a couple of caveats to it. Don't think I'm going to buy it right away. So that was one big little piece of news that I really enjoyed. Another big one is that we saw trailers for Sonic 2, but specifically, we also saw a new trailer for the new Sonic game that was teased a few months back. Sonic Frontiers, officially named. It's open world.
Really?
Yes, Breath of the Sonic.
Breath of the Sonic. I love it.
It is an open world game. We didn't see gameplay, sadly. You can actually look this up if you want to, but we didn't see gameplay. We saw environmental shots. The thing that worries me is that the frame rate on those environmental shots was not good.
Really now?
Yeah.
Breath of the Sonic.
Sonic Frontiers. Happening. There's no gameplay. There's no Sonic running. It's just literally just like showing off the environment, kind of like Skyrim or whatever. So the fact that the frame rate was choppy is concerning.
Is the game supposed to... Oh yeah, no, it's definitely coming to Switch. From what I can see.
PS5 and stuff. That's a problem. The fact that they have to sort of nerf it just because it has to fit on Switch is like... Cuphead's DLC made an appearance and finally has a release date, June 30th.
I love Cuphead and everything it stands. I'm just being a bitter person when it comes to Cuphead
What
because
was it, too hard or something like that? You couldn't pass the tutorial? Like,
no, I never played it. That game came out around the time where people would not shut up about retro games and just retro gaming. Oh, how amazing older games were and the older aesthetic. It was also around the time where Sonic Mania came out and everyone was like, whoa, it's like playing classic Sonic, but way better. You know, it just looks old school. Like, it just got so, no pun intended, old for me.
I
So
actually
that's why.
feel like I actually feel like the big retro game nostalgia boom was actually earlier than that. Like, I think it was closer to like 2011, 2012, around the days of like Cave Story, Terraria. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I adore Cuphead, mostly because of its art style and just the amount of work that goes into it. The Saints Row had a trailer to sort of like flesh out what's going on there. Looked
Mm-hmm.
all right. Um, I think Telltale announced a Star Trek game.
Wait,
Yeah, Star Trek Resurgence, something like that.
wait, Telltale. And that's not.
Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us.
So that
The
is.
Story Guys.
Wait, I thought that studio got shut down a long time ago.
I think they originally got shut down, and then someone came in and like revived it with a new staff or whatever, or something like that. It's complicated.
Okay. I mean, cool.
Suicide Squad got some actual gameplay trailer.
Okay.
Not bad. Among Us VR got announced.
All right. I saw that. It is coming to Oculus Quest 2, guys. So please make sure to play it. And it is going to be a first-person game as well.
Yes.
Which it should be a given with VR, but you know, it is Among Us. Like, can you really picture Among Us in first person?
Given the timing and popularity going on, they announced a Dune strategy game, Dune Spice Wars. Let's see, Elden Ring got another trailer.
Sweet.
Specifically focused on the lore, actually, not the gameplay, just the lore.
Okay, that is appreciated. FromSoft isn't known for making their lore all that apparent, all that obvious.
It looks like, yeah, no, they're definitely going in on the lore. I mean, it's remember, it's George R. R. Martin, so like, there's definitely going to be like at least an upgrade in the story, I feel.
Right.
By the way, Elden Ring naturally won most anticipated game 2 years in a row now. Wonder Woman being made by, I think it was Monolith Soft, so the guys that made Middle Earth, Shadow of War, and all that stuff.
Okay.
They're doing Wonder Woman next.
Have my interest. Shadow of War is actually my favorite game of all
I was
time.
about to say, it was, from the bonus episode we talked about that as number one. I'm surprised about that. I especially hear good things about the Nemesis system a lot. Very curious to see if the Nemesis system follows into Wonder Woman. You know, remember Warner did patent it, so like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The only ones that can do it. The only ones that can do it. It'd be kind of silly if they patented it and just didn't use it.
Yeah, no one else can have a Nemesis system now, or they can't call it a Nemesis system probably.
Let's see some other big stuff. Arc Raiders is some sort of co-op game that got announced. Looks okay, but probably is more of a live service kind of thing. So I'm probably on the fence on it. Hellblade 2 got a really good trailer. Okay, so Hellblade 2, Jeff sort of premised it from the get-go, so it wasn't as big of a surprise, but at the same time, it's like, you're watching the trailer for Hellblade 2, and it's this nice cinematic-looking thing, and all of a sudden, it's just like, psych, that's the gameplay. After we're done recording, you should actually check this out. Like, the graphics are just ridiculous on that game. And consider it's not a AAA studio. It's Ninja Theory. It's an indie studio.
Mm-hmm. Like Hellblade, the first one is a beautiful, beautiful game. It looks incredible.
It is genuinely unreal just how good it looks. Alan Wake 2 officially announced. 2023. It's going to be a survival horror game instead of an action title or anything like that, like the previous one. So that's a new thing for them. Alan Wake 2, but it's 2 years away. So
did Just Cause 5 get announced by any chance, or
no?
Okay, good.
Forspoken, we mentioned that one just before we started recording. Forspoken got a sort of lore trailer, so to speak, and a release date. May 24th. Monster Hunter is getting a new expansion. Monster Hunter Rise, is getting a new expansion. Sunbreak, I believe it's in the summer.
Oh. Perfect name then, Sunbreak.
I say you're going to be getting that pretty quick. Star Wars Eclipse being developed by Quantum Dream. So the developers behind Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, all that stuff. So very story-heavy Star Wars game.
I think a lot of people will appreciate that after getting Battlefront 1 and 2, which were mostly based on the multiplayer.
You would be surprised. The reception I saw online is that people were interested in the game. They show the title, and at the very end, they show the developer, and a lot of people were like, they got disappointed, actually.
Really?
There's a lot of people out there that don't actually like Quantum Dream games. For example, actually, best ongoing game, Warzone lost out to Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you. I told you.
Yeah, no, Genshin lost that one. But Genshin won best mobile game, so you know the weebs got something.
Well, that's because Final Fantasy 14 is not on mobile. That's the only reason why.
And also to partly complete the trifecta that I was predicting, Maggie Robertson did in fact win best performance for Lady D in Resident Evil 8. So.
I like that. No, Deathloop got nominated for so many things.
It got a lot of nominations.
Yeah.
And it got a decent bit of awards.
No,
I'll tell you right now, it did not win Game of the Year.
Really?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment, but it did not win Game of the Year, so I was dead wrong on it.
We both were.
Forza Horizon won for audio design and innovation and accessibility, so... Deathloop didn't win game direction. Guardians of the Galaxy won best narrative. Very surprised by that.
Interesting.
Yeah. It won over Deathloop, Life is Strange, Psychonauts.
Interesting.
Final Fantasy 14 also won for best community support.
Yeah. Damn straight.
This is the funny one. Dream won Content Creator of the Year.
Moving on.
Kina won best indie game and best debut indie, so that was pretty obvious stuff. Returnal won best action game. Metroid Dread won best action adventure game.
Okay. Yeah. What were some of the other nominees? Do you remember? Is it there?
For action or action adventure?
Action adventure.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil 8, Psychonauts 2.
Oh. I think that they had to give some kind of award to Metroid Dread.
I
think that they were going to anyway.
They kind of had to. I believe it's also the only award Nintendo won that night.
Nah. I mean, that one's on Nintendo.
I kind of spoil that too. Metroid didn't win Game of the Year either.
I mean, I figured, considering how few awards it won in general.
Best action game, though, the nominees were Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, Returnal. So the fact that Returnal beat Deathloop, I was surprised by.
Okay.
Forza Horizon 5 also won Best Sports Racing Game.
Of course it did.
5, huh?
Of course it did.
Yeah, Forza Horizon 5 actually tied with another game for the most awards with 3 apiece.
3 apiece?
Like the 2 games each won 3 per, you know.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, actually not that bad. Yeah, like again, it led it. Resident Evil 4 won Best VR Game. I thought it was gonna be Hitman.
No.
Games for Impact. Before Your Eyes Lost.
Okay.
Life is Strange wins.
Same
thing. Another surprise that you're actually gonna be really pissed about.
I'm listening.
SMT5 did not win Best RPG.
I'm not at all surprised, but I'm still disappointed.
This is the part where I remind you that Cyberpunk was nominated.
And it won?
And so naturally, Cyberpunk did not win. Tales of Arise won Best RPG.
I call BS on that one.
Not a fan of the Tales series.
I don't believe in what they did. SMT5 should have won that, but I knew that SMT5 wasn't going to win because it's SMT.
I would have still given it a fair shot, honestly, but I would have expected like Monster Hunter sooner. I didn't expect Tales. No.
Yeah, I also would have expected Monster Hunter to win over, if anything, but Tales. That, like, what a strange pick to me.
But of course, you lost out on that one, but you also win another one. Nier actually won Best Music.
Told you.
Yeah, so I'm very, very happy about that, honestly. Nier wins its one award that it was nominated for.
Yeah, that's good. It's sad yet good. Yeah.
Yeah, we mentioned most anticipated game was Elden Ring. Guilty Gear, of course, won Best Fighting Game.
Yeah.
Wasn't even, yeah.
Not too much competition this year.
Best Art Direction, not only should it have been nominated, it should have straight up won. If you're going to give it to Deathloop, which looks good, the art direction is interesting, Guilty Gear completely wipes it off the face of the earth, though. Like,
there were others that deserved it more for sure. So
I'm sure a lot of people would say Kino or Psychonauts should have gotten that.
right,
Game of
moving
the year.
forward, game of the year. Let's do this.
Completely threw me off. It Takes Two won.
Huh?
It Takes Two. Game of the year.
What were the nominees again?
Deathloop, Metroid, Psychonauts, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil, It Takes Two.
I did think that Ratchet and Clank was going to win.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank didn't win anything.
That's very surprising because
Ratchet
people
and Clank
really
didn't win
like.
anything. Psychonauts didn't win anything. It Takes Two, meanwhile, won Family Game, Multiplayer, and then Game of the Year.
Wow.
Which, me completely shocked, but super happy for the dude because it's like he was so excited. He like jumped up. He started throwing his hands in the air. And then when in his little acceptance speech,
I mean, quite frankly, I'm not like particularly attached to any of the game of the year nominees, so I'm not upset about this, but I really thought the Ratchet and Clank was going to win that one, or Deathloop, yeah, considering just how many times that game got nominated. Jesus
9
Christ.
nominations, leading all games with nominations. Because I'm looking at right here the stats. Deathloop led with 9 nominations. And then It Takes Two and Forza Horizon tie for most awards with 3 apiece. So
That's crazy. It tied with
nice.
Game of the Year, except that it didn't win Game of the Year regarding Forza.
yeah.
Yeah, so there you have it.
Technically the highest. There's one more reveal that they had yesterday. It was on the pre-show too, which kind of threw me off. That I think is of note.
I'm listening.
Persona is coming to PC and Switch.
Oh yes. Wait, Switch?
Persona to PC and Switch.
Like Persona 5.
Persona to PC and Switch.
Persona 1?
It's happening. It's just Persona. We're finally getting it.
Yeah, but which one?
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, the fighting game.
Okay, there you go.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Switch, I believe PS4 and 5, and I don't remember if Xbox was also included there.
I know you're disappointed too, but you still had a lot of fun taking me down with you.
I'm actually not that disappointed.
You tricked me, and I am upset at you, Christopher.
I had to hold that one. I had to wait till the end for that one. Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching tonight's episode of the Tech Summit podcast. I wanted to give, again, a very special thanks to podcastle.ai for sponsoring this episode of the Tech Summit podcast and for sponsoring technically also the Supercut version. So yeah, they're going to get the shout out that they deserve. And Christopher, thank you so much also for putting all of this information together. Thank you so much for that disappointing final bit of news that you delivered in such beautifully condescending fashion. Thank you to all of you for watching tonight's episode. I hope that you enjoy your game of the year. I am not salty. This has been I am not salty and Christopher. And yeah, until next time, enjoy.
Good night. Have a well.